Balamori, Balamori. This the story of Balamori, wouldn't you like to know? Every time I boot up this game, that's the first thing I hear. No joke. Hi guys, welcome back. Scatlink here, and we are finally off for the long-awaited, multiply requested Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D, the 100% walkthrough. I have had a bit of a debate, because over the years, I've been wanting to cover the 3DS version of this game, mainly because it's probably easier to cover than the original, for mostly Let's Play reasons, just for a few minor quality of life conveniences. And I couldn't cover it because I didn't have a 3DS capture card, and even then I needed to plan a lot of stuff. This is a game that I needed to plan my route out for, so, unlike Ocarina of Time, where I knew to the back of my hand, even though I know what I'm doing in this game, you'll be doing a lot of resetting in order to, you know, get everything that you want done. Not only that, I wanted to do the 3DS version because it's also, like, so many little things are different between this and the original that I would have to cover the 3DS version and jump back and forth instead of just doing a whole separate video for it, because there's just little changes here and there that I'm going to mention as they happen. So it's going to be a little bit different like that as well. So we will have footage of the original, and it will be from the actual N64 version because I don't have it on Virtual Console or GameCube. And plus, this means I get to record in 60 frames, even though the game doesn't run in 60 frames. It's the 3DS version, of course, so it's the more graphically pleasing version, and I've actually messed with some settings to make it look the best it can possibly be. That is nightmare fuel, and whoever did that model must be commended, because it looks a lot, well, scarier, better than the original. What an intro. Gives you a tour of the town, and then nightmare fuel. I actually needed to delete a file. I should have planned that ahead. Oh well, you get to see mess-ups in general, and that looks like it was just started recently. Oh well. Yeah, I like how they actually flip it so you don't accidentally delete a file. You have to go back and forth in order to delete. So let's go tap in our name, bring up the keyboard, boop, boop. This is a lot simpler. You won't get that on the console. Well, on our home console, but yes. We are finally here for Majora's Mask 3D. There is no Master Quest, unlike the 3D version of Ocarina of Time, which I still need to cover because I've covered that game about like 5 times. But those updated 3DS bonus videos for Ocarina of Time 3D were actually editing preparation for this. So there's going to be a similar editing style in terms of how I lay out the bottom screen to the top screen. Let's finally begin. In the land of Hyrule, there echoes a legend held dearly by the royal family that tells of a boy. A boy who, after battling evil and saving Hyrule, crept away from the land that made him a legend. Done with the battles he once waged across time, he embarked on a journey, a secret and personal journey. A journey in search of a beloved and invaluable friend. A friend of whom he parted ways when he finally fulfilled his heroic destiny and took his place among legends. And there's that familiar little fairy wispy noise. Because we're on the search for Navi, who departed at the end of Ocarina of Time. No point saying that that's spoilers or anything. This is a direct sequel. One of the very few Zelda games, in fact, that is a direct sequel. Ocarina of Time was that good. And this game was made in like 18 months, the original obviously, not the remake. That took a good 5 years, I think. And unlike Ocarina of Time 3D, they patched a lot of glitches out, so if I want to talk about any of them, we will be going back to the original, which I might actually do a bonus episode for, or again sprinkle them in throughout the Let's Play. Like I said, slightly different, because I'm going to be mentioning a few things. But yeah, this definitely looks a lot better, even though it's like half the resolution of the 64. Or is it the same? I don't know. Still, better hardware, better looking graphics. Well, we got knocked out. I guess Link wasn't prepared for that. He landed right on his head. I guess that sock hat doesn't actually cushion the impact.
You two fairies did great. I wonder if he has anything good on him. This guy. Well, that shouldn't be a problem. Skull Kid is rattling his bones.
That's just rude. Right, stop feeling me up, boy. This is a kid's game, even though it's a dark kid's game.
Ooh, what a pretty ocarina. Hey, Skull Kid, let me touch it. I want to see. You can't, Tail. What if we do if you dropped it and broke it? No way, you can't touch it.
Oh, but sis, why can't I try it out too? Epona, you muppet. Well, excuse me, double fairy boy. That's mine. Don't play dumb. Come here. That's my horse! What are you doing? Ow, ow, ow. This is rough. If you're gonna get pulled on by a horse like that, hanging on someone's leg, getting dragged, that's a lot of friction burn. Thank God it's grass. Oof. Well, that was just rude. Where the hell are we? Well, we ourselves actually have to give chase. We now have control. We should be making tracks, but I'll give you a quick brief overview of the controls. It's the exact same as Ocarina of Time. You got L targeting by holding L. It allows you to strafe and target stuff. You can side hop and backflip. You can roll. If you have your sword out, you can do horizontal slashes, vertical slashes, crouch with your shield to block. You can stab and block. You can strafe while blocking like that, as well as targeting. Press A while your sword is out with targeting, do a jump attack. Twirl and B for a spin attack. You can also hold the button and do it yourself. Practice on these bushes if you must. We also have A for context sensitive actions, as you can see there. Roll in the bushes, pick them up, and chuck them, and that's pretty much all the controls I need to make mention for now. For the rest of the stuff, we'll be told about that later on. We're going to cut some of these bushes and get some of the blues out of there, but yeah, we have a maximum wallet of 90. We need to give chase. Even though most of all of our magic and HP has been gone through our long travels of not actually doing anything, looks like Link's become a little bit complacent, which is probably why he got knocked out by getting in front of his horse. You may already know this, but here's a quick review of the basic controls, which I have already done, good sir. We need to make haste. And Link's sporting some new parkour jumping physics, which absolutely floored me when I was young. Into the Mushroom Kingdom, apparently. Oh, well, that was the end of our journey. That was quick. That's trippy scenery. What the heck? What's all these symbols? Am I some sort of mushrooms? Am I on drugs? This is a kid's game. Oof. Well, good thing that flower was there, otherwise that fall from several hundred feet could have been serious. Indeed.
What's with that stupid horse of yours? Doesn't listen to a word that's said to it. There's no point in riding a thing like that, so I did you a favour and got rid of it.
Okay. Before we continue, I need to make mention of a small little change that I'm not actually happy with from the N64 version to this version. When Link recalls here, shocked at what he just said, like, yeah, I just got rid of your horse for you. Maybe Link's thinking the Skull Kid killed Epona. His eyebrow twitches. That don't happen here. I like that little detail. Kind of sad that it's missing. Oh, and if I do any weird references, that's a reference to Adam West Slapdog, who recently finished his Majora's Mask Abridged after so long of a hiatus. That's my childhood, that is.
Oh, boo-hoo. Why a sad face? I just thought I'd have a little fun with you. Oh, come now. Do you think you can beat me as I am now? Fool!
Fool! I'm getting Death Wish vibes! Oh, Death Wish flashbacks are not fun. Or Chaos Edition for that matter. What the? I hear rustling. And crackling. Oh, where did these Deku Scrubs come from? Nope. I'm not dealing with this. See ya. It won't stop. Holy Hylia.
Now that's a good look for you. You'll stay looking like that way forever.
Oh, no, you don't. No. What? I'm getting beaten up by a fairy. Things are supposed to heal me. And did you growl at me, missus? A fairy growled at me. Sis! What the hell was going on?
Whoa, whoa. Skull Kid, wait for me. I'm still here. Tail, you can't leave without me.
That's one feisty fairy.
You! If I wasn't dealing with you, I wouldn't have gotten separated from my brother. Well, don't just sit there, Deco Boy. Do something.
Excuse me?
What are you looking at me like that for? Is there something stuck in my face?
No! You hissed, growled at me, and beat me up! I've got no weapon! I've been transformed! What do you expect me to do? My horse was You scared my horse, I got knocked out, I landed on my head, you stole my horse, you stole my ocarina, and now you've stole my very being! Of course I'm gonna look at you like that!
Will you stop staring and just open the door for me?
No!
Come on. Please, come on. A helpless little girl was asking you, so hurry up. Oh, Tail, I wonder if that child will be alright on his own.
Well, this sucks! I mean, I know it's been very rapid fire recently, but Jesus! Well, we're in a new form. We're a bit nippy. We don't have a lot of range of movement. We can do target. We can do side hop and backflip, which we can kind of angle because we're very light. But we can't use our sword. Let's go to our gear. We still got our hero shield and Kakiri sword, which, by the way, the Kakiri sword changed design from Ocarina of Time to this game, and I don't know why. It looks like it's got a redesigned handle and hilt, and it's like, why is it like a two-piece Lego brick? I never understood why it changed design. Maybe it's because it was reforged by the royal family or something? I don't know. Maybe it was damaged and it had to be repaired? I don't understand. I can't actually find any info on this. And they kept it for the remake. So, and the hero shield that we did have that we can no longer use is basically a small version of a Hylian shield, child size, similar design, but not exact. It's flameproof, you can block stuff, but it can still be stolen by likes, so keep that in mind. But we haven't got it equipped right now because we can't use it. Instead, all we got is this half a nut that we can't strafe with. It kind of acts like the adult Hylian shield, or just a Hylian shield, when we were human as a kid, but we're always a kid in this game, so take that what you will. We still have attack, which never seems to change even when we're not moving. Once we press that, we do a spin. Looks like this is our only method of attack, and we can take out bushes, they're alive! We must be on some sort of mushrooms, because when we fell, we saw hallucinogenic things. We're now completely out of our mind, and body, literally. We don't even remember how to do certain things, and I'll say this right now before we move on. This would have been a good point to reset ourselves to 3 hearts with no magic. Because if this is a direct sequel to Ocarina of Time, then we should at least have a few heart containers and magic. Because it's required. I mean, I wouldn't even mind if it started you off with 20 heart containers, double defense, and maximum magic. Because you could say that Link gained additional from what you left off on Ocarina of Time during his travels. But then this happens, and he's reset the factory settings. So, yeah, that could have been a good thing. But regardless, we're still up to this point, so that's not a problem. Let's open this door. Enough exposition. Let's continue giving chase with what we can do, I guess. We're even weaker than before.
Hey, wait! Don't leave me behind! So, that stuff back there, I, apologize, so take me with you. You want to know about that Skull Kid who just ran off, right? Well, I just so happen to have an idea of where he may be going. Take me with you and I'll help you out, do you? Please? No, good, then it's settled.
I didn't agree to nothing! There wasn't even a choice on screen. Breaking the fourth wall.
Now then, I'll be your partner, or at least until we catch that Skull Kid. My name's Tattle, so nice to meet you, or whatever. Now that we got all that straightened out, can we stop messing around and get moving? If I figure something out, press right on the control pad, not take away your first-person view like in Ocarina of Time, the original Majora's Mask, or Ocarina of Time 3D, so they're actually using the D-pad for something, and I'll tell it to you. Hopefully, you'll manage to get by without my helping too then.
Here we go again. What is going on? I feel Link's pain. If I didn't already know what I was doing.
Hey, if I call you, press right away.
Right away. Wow. Tongue twister because you make me say the same word twice.
I can tell you're not very used to your Deco Scrub body yet.
No, genius. I was human? I've just been Beauty and the Beasted. And I mean what starts the plot, not ends it.
Alright, listen up. If you press and hold A as a Deco Scrub while standing on a Deco Flower, you can dive into it. If you wait a bit before releasing A, you'll launch out of the flower, and you can press A while flying to descend. Remember that you can press R to change your view while flying. Figure out what works best for you.
I don't think that was a thing in the original, and it's actually quite helpful and a nice quality of life improvement. You didn't need it, and you do not need it in this game, but it's nice. So I'm going to be using it to its fullest extent. Did you get all that? Do not pour Kabora Gabora on me!
Are you sure? One more thing. When you press A, when you're on the ground, you can perform a spin attack.
Which I've already found out because I wanted to destroy some bushes. So yes, we've got a new mechanic. When you have that little puff, that's when you can fly. If you do not hold the button, you'll just pop out. There we are. There are... This is like one of those usual tutorial-like areas. It kind of like in a controlled environment. You won't void out. You can still get out, and to get out, you still have to learn the mechanic they're trying to teach you. However, going through this door, not only does it lock us out, so we can't go back to Hyrule or to familiar, well, if you can call it familiar, Lost Woods territory. Now we've got a chasm to fly over, but thankfully we just learned the ability to fly, so that should be a problem. All you got to do is pretty much just hold forward as much as possible, and for the most part, if it's just a stretch, you will make it. There's a chest up there, and I want that. So if you haven't noticed already, I have chopped up the bottom screen like around the screen with a bit of editing trickery, so it looks a lot better than what it is. You got Deco Nuts. Press B while flying to drop a Deco Bomb. Upon impact, it makes a blinding flash, freezing enemies in their tracks. So yeah, if you haven't noticed, we are a Deco Scrub who cannot shoot nuts. What kind of Deco Scrub can't shoot anything?
Do you know how to use items? It's pretty important.
Tap items on the lower screen to bring up the item screen, or just press pause in the original.
Select an item and assign it. You can also tap and slide to assign an item, do it whichever way you feel like best. Once you've assigned an item, press the corresponding button or tap the corresponding icon to use it. It's easy.
So yes, we can access our items. Now, unlike Ocarina of Time 3D, when it comes to the touchscreen anyway, or the bottom screen for item management, you don't just move the item completely, it actually stays in your inventory, as you can see here. If I equip it, it's still in my inventory box, although I have it equipped. So, that's a thing. The reason being is because that in Ocarina of Time 3D, you can just move the items that you want, and there was just enough items to have in your inventory, as well as having at least 2 equipped. Here, it's just on the solid grid, just like it was in the original. A bit weird change for Ocarina of Time 3D, but it's fine on here. And the reason why as well is because they don't want you putting masks in this tab instead. They had to lock them so it would work. So there you are. Of course, on the pause subscreen, when you pause the game in the N64 version, you would just rotate like you usually would. You'll probably see that when we do some switching elsewhere. There's no point talking about that right now. It's just basic item management. And as I've already talked about, we've got gear, so that shows us our usual stuff, as well as our map, which we haven't got any because we're so deep in the Lost Woods it doesn't even matter. Plus, we fell down a trippy hole. Now, Deco Nuts. You might be thinking, oh, I have a method of attack now. I can actually shoot Deco Nuts like an old Deco Scrub. Nope, used to chuck them like a grenade like the good old Sheikah ninjas. We're still a Deco Scrub who can't shoot nuts. Well, unless we do something that Deco Scrubs cannot do, from what we know, fly, and then we can dive bomb by just pressing B. Yeah, doesn't really help us at the moment, though, does it? This is where the R button comes into play. When we launch, we can see below us, which helps landing our, well, helps landing in general, but also landing our nuts. That was something that you couldn't do in the original, but it's just like an extra feature that's pretty nice to have.
Hey you, come on, press L and talk to me.
So again, tutorial, this is how you can check stuff. Oh, it's switch. Okay, but I'll do this first, because I have to hold the button and then press right to talk to Tattle, or talk to an NPC if I'm targeting them.
There you go, see, you can do it if you try. When I fly over to talk to people or objects, you can use L to look at them so you can interact with them. Use L targeting to talk to people even when they're far away.
Or if there's no one to target, you can just look to center the camera and look straight ahead.
But enough about that for now. Come over here to this tree and check it out.
Right, I need to do some changes here. I need to go to gear, and now I need to go options. Right, so you would access the options on the pause screen, on the file selection screen, excuse me, and that's any version. So that's a thing. But here I actually need to come in because I'm playing on a new 3DS, so the Scatlink Pro's active by default. But, fun fact actually, I got this new 3DS at the same time Majora's Mask 3D came out. And this is the exact same 3DS I modded, obviously, to record. So, bit of poeticness right there. I'm using the Scatlink Pro even though I don't use the functions that much. Obviously, that means we can use the circle nub or the other additional circle pad to turn the camera for free movement camera, which we couldn't do before. I'll show that off in a minute. But I need to switch to L targeting to switch because I prefer that. I'm not a fan of holding it. I'm used to it switching. Free camera, that's what I was on about, so we'll have that on for now. We got a second page here. First person camera, you can slide, or you can invert Y-axis, X-axis, or invert both. You can also use motion controls to do that as well, which I actually prefer for accuracy when it comes to the shooting gallery, because if anyone has played the original Majora's Mask, the shooting galleries are evil. Swimming controls, I'll leave that for now, because we can't really do anything about that at the moment. And volume, I don't know why there's an option about that balancing here, even though it's only 3 set balances, because we got a volume slider and there's no voice acting. Don't get it. So yeah, what was on about free camera angle, if I just use the nub right now, I can swivel the camera any which direction, but it will stay in that direction, just like any other Zelda game that we've had. But, you know, I just prefer centering the camera when I need to, so I don't kind of use that feature. And really, that's the only thing that the Scatlink Pro is really used for, really. ZL is still L, R is still, ZR is still R. So, yeah, I don't really get that. As you see here, this is ZR, that's R. This is ZL, that's L. So, L or ZL targeting works perfectly fine. This is a weird looking tree, looks like a deco scrub.
It's strange, but the way you look right now sort of reminds me of this tree. It looks all dark and gloomy. Almost like it could start crying any second now. It looks so sad.
I'm going to be referencing Majora's Mask Abridged for God knows how long in this Let's Play. Been waiting to make references, and I'm glad it finished at the beginning of this year, which I didn't find out until May. You can imagine. I was like, what? When did he finish this? But it finally wrapped up, and it kept the same humour, and actual quality as well, even though it looked a bit cleaner, because, you know, they're not 7 years old. We can't get back out. We just went through a corridor from the forest temple, which, you know, is part of the Last Woods, so fair enough, but this door's locked. We can't get back. It keeps locking us out. And where are we? Some kind of elaborate windmill with waterworks in the inside? Oh, and by the way, in the original, there was actually some seaweed round about this spot that looked like an N64 from a certain angle. It's not here in this version. I don't know why they removed that. Or maybe it was just because of, like, a visual joke or reference. And it wasn't intended. Maybe that's why they didn't include it. There's a big old Sheikah stone right there. We'll get into that later, because that was actually a thing from only the remakes. That's a remake exclusive thing. It first debuted in Skyward Sword and then Ocarina of Time 3D, which obviously was the previous version of this. You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you? Happy Mask Salesman? You've been following me? How have you been following me? You can't fly. How'd you get here?
I own the Happy Mask shop. I travel far and wide in search of masks. During my travels, a very important mask was stolen from me by an imp in the woods. So here I am at a loss, and now I found you. Now, don't think of me as rude, but I have been following you. For I know of a way to return you to your former self.
Really? That's awesome! How? What kind of magic powers do you have, mischievous, suspicious person?
If you can get back the precious item that was stolen from you, I will return you to normal.
Well, that's a task. I got transformed because of that.
But in exchange, all I ask is that you get back my precious mask that imp stole from me.
The Skull Kid. Right, about that. That's a powerful mask right there. Why do you own a mask like that? You're already raising suspicious questions. What? It's not a simple task? It's not what I asked, mate. Why? To someone like you, it should by no means be a difficult task. How's that supposed to make me feel better? Except, one thing is, I'm a very busy fellow, and I must leave this place in 3 days. How grateful I would be if you could bring back to me before my time here is up. But yes, you'll be fine. I see you are young and have tremendous courage. I'm sure you will find it right away. This is a new cutscene added to the 3DS version. Oh, and one more thing. Please be so kind as to direct your gaze over there for a moment. That strange stone over there, do you see it? It is a Sheikah stone. When the world has weighed you down with worry, crawl inside and let it show you the way. If you ever find yourself lost on your grand adventure, seek the counsel of this wise old stone. It will surely help you on your noble quest. Well then, I am counting on you. Thanks, dude, leveraging me with a time limit. Fair enough. We will deal with that later. We still need to give chase. South Clock Town? Where the heck are we? This is... Tano, I don't think we're in Hyrule anymore.
He gives me the creeps. That masked salesman was the... Sorry, just thinking aloud. But 3 days? Even if we never sleep, that still leaves us with a measly 72 hours. Talk about demanding. Well, don't just stand there. We're going to see the Great Fairy. Look, you want to find the Skull Kid, don't you? The Great Fairy will know what he's up to. She watches over everything. And just between you and me, the Skull Kid is no match for the Great Fairy.
Are you sure about that?
I'm pretty sure the Great Fairy lives in a shrine somewhere here in town. Where? Well, somewhere. Don't press me for the details. I don't come to this town very often.
Tano, you should know. You're a fairy. Great fairies spawn from you, or they're your leaders, right? This is something you should know by default. Taught upon birth. How do you not know this? You're not exactly the most helpful guide, are you?
Well, you should try talking to one of the kids about hanging around in town. One of them might know where the shrine is.
Well, before I do that, I need to make haste, because there is a time limit all of a sudden. And it's ticking fast. We've already wasted 15 minutes. 16, 17, 18, 19. It is going quick. As soon as we approach around this corner, I wasn't actually trying to activate this. I was trying to go actually behind the building, but I obviously went too far. Save your progress up to this point. Yeah? Well, I would not be in this situation if I didn't, but at the same time, we wouldn't be having a game then. Or a quest, for that matter. That'll be the whole purpose of this. So yeah, okay. While I'm hanging on the screen, because time's not ticking, I gotta say right now, the only time that time doesn't tick, unlike in Ocarina of Time when you're in like a town or somewhere, or in a dungeon, or even in a grotto, time doesn't tick. In Majora's Mask, the only times that time does not tick is when you're paused, in a dialogue box, or inside the clock tower that is ticking visually, which makes no sense. But that is your only safe haven from the time limit. And that time limit doesn't look very long, to be honest, especially when it's ticking that quickly. This game operates solely on a time limit. And bringing up the save system, if you're playing the N64 version right now, good luck, because you're not going to be able to save for a good long while. You'll only be able to quick save by looking at this thing. And if you quick save, load your file up afterwards, and then turn it off, you'll be clocked back to your previous save, which at this point would be turning on the game. However, the reason why you're not going to be able to save or quick save for a good long while was because he asks for a sacred sword as proof of encounter. He's talking about the Master Sword. You don't get the Master Sword in this game, but Link has wielded it, so you need to whack it with any kind of blade which you do not have access to. So good luck with that. You've got an hour ahead of you, at least, if you do not mess up. This has opened up for me, however. Quality of life change. This is why I wanted to do the 3DS version. It allows me to save after every episode, so if anything goes wrong in recording, I can redo it. And backup files are my go-to. If I was doing this on the original, not only would I be stuck to 2 files because the 3rd files slot is taken away in order to use it as quick save data for the other 2 existing files, unless you're playing the Japanese version, of which it causes glitches if you do use quick save. This version has 3 files and I can save whenever I want, so that means I can restart whenever I want if something goes wrong. Plus, on a handheld, it seems a lot better that way. For quick saving, you would just press the home button and put it on sleep mode and put it on charge. So you don't need that feature. So we've saved our progress, but what I originally wanted to do was come to this guy. Hey there, little guy, won't you deposit some rupees? Nowadays, even if people don't have money, they won't deposit any. Nothing. So for a limited time, I'll give you a special gift based on how much you deposit. Tempting? For example, if you deposit 200 rupees, you'll get a Primo wallet that holds a lot of rupees. Primo, don't know. So what would it be? I want to deposit some, because we just got 29 without doing much. And I'm just going to deposit, I did that wrong. I want to deposit 9 for now, just so we have something in it. That's it. That's it. That ain't nothing at all, you big spender, but if you say so. So, little guy, what's your name? Scatlink, is it? Got it. I won't forget your deposits. Let me stamp you with my special ink. Hey, relax. It doesn't leave any marks. It's not gonna hurt. Then, what's the point of the stamp? Can you not see me unless it's UV, so it's an invisible mark? Don't know what he means by that. It's a stamp, but doesn't leave any marks. Eh? There. Now I'll know you when I see you. Alright, little guy, so now I've got a total of 9 rupees from you. Come back on and deposit some after you save up a bunch. Considering we've had a lot going on in this episode, you know, getting assaulted, robbed of our horse, mind, body, skills, magic, health, sense of worth, abilities, being turned into a Deku, stalked by a mask salesman, into a town that we have no idea where we are, I think we want to be taking a bit of a break if time will permit. So in the next episode, guys, we will continue giving chase to the Skull Kid, finding the Great Fairy, and see what we can do with our predicament with a short 3-day apparent time limit. See you guys then.